Ray Rice is a ridiculous dude. Well, let me be clear, I don't know him. He and I have never exchanged a word, and most likely we never will. The closest interaction between he and I is him treating my fantasy team like it's some insignificant female in an Atlantic City casino elevator. What, too soon? Anyway, I don't need to rip on Ray Rice. His actions are so obviously wrong, and they don't need to be ripped or scrutinized any further. As a grown man, you don't hit a woman ever, period. End of sentence. Even if Stephen A. Smith says it might be cool sometimes. Leaving the ridiculousness of Ray Rice's offense aside, I have to rip the NFL and the Ravens for their reaction. Everything about it is either incredibly stupid, hugely disingenuous, or both. Now, for those of you who don't follow American football or maybe live outside the United States, or both, let me give you a quick recap of the relevant events to get you up to speed. In February, the American tabloid publication TMZ releases surveillance footage from an Atlantic City hotel showing Ray Rice, the running back for the Baltimore Ravens, and his then girlfriend, fiancée Janae Palmer, entering an elevator in what looks like some sort of disagreement or argument, and then exiting the elevator in a creepy style that resembles that scene in Family Guy where Quagmire is dragging the Bachelorette face down. Goes to show you the razor-thin line between comedy and complete disgrace. Anyway, Ray Rice subsequently admitted to his offense in what in my judgment seemed like honest remorse, and the league responded with a 2-game suspension. Public opinion at the time was harsh on the NFL for the light slap-on-the-wrist disciplinary response to what is an obvious open and shut case of domestic assault. But then pictures of Jennifer Lawrence's showed up. But then the news of the day began to overshadow the old Ray Rice news, and everyone redirected their Reddit rage to whatever the appropriate target of the day might be. The NFL season started, and though Ray Rice was still the rightful target of a healthy dose of vitriol, people seemed to accept it as a matter of the past, and nobody really seemed to care anymore, including to some extent the Ravens and the league. I qualify that statement by saying the NFL, in response to the outrage over the perceived leniency in the Ray Rice case, announced a stiffer domestic abuse policy with a 6-game ban for any offender and a lifetime ban for any repeat offense. Fast forward to this week, TMZ releases a second video, this time of the actual punch Ray Rice threw against his girlfriend. The one you're seeing on screen now. When I saw it, yeah, I was disgusted, but not shocked given the facts we already have, a context with no reasonable alternative explanation besides a punch to the face to knock her out, and an admission from Ray Rice that that event actually took place. It shouldn't surprise any person of pedestrian reasoning skills. We already had a set of premises that pointed to this conclusion, and an admission from the offender that this conclusion was correct. Why would the video of the conclusion change anything? To me, it didn't. But to the NFL and the Ravens, as head coach John Harbaugh explicitly stated in his press conference yesterday, to them, it made very meaningful change.
It's something we saw for the first time today, and it changed things, of course.
The Ravens responded by terminating his contract, and the NFL responded by banning him from the league indefinitely.
You cannot be serious!
What the fuck? Now let me make my position clear. I'm not saying these penalties are inappropriate. Indeed, I think they're spot on. But why in the hell did it take video of the actual event for anybody to respond this way? My God, the man admitted this event took place and nobody seemed to care. Then video surfaces of exactly what everyone already knew happened, and all of a sudden it's the new worst thing ever. Let me be clear. This week with the video of the punch, not a single new fact, not one, was introduced into this case. Yet the punishment for Ray Rice has gone from a measly 2 games
to infinity and beyond.
The NFL completely fucked this one up big time. So much so that in my opinion, depending on how the events unfolded, I think the safety of League Commissioner Roger Goodell's job should be in question. The NFL and the Ravens have responded to this new video by saying, "Well, we never saw this video of him actually punching her." To which I respond in 2 ways. One, bullshit. The NFL works with law enforcement in every market in which they operate, and they vet their players to an extreme extent when preparing for the draft every year. If you're the commissioner, to do your job, you get every piece of relevant evidence from the police report on Ray Rice, or you're not doing your job at all. 2, even if you are incompetent and you didn't see the punch video, why did you need to see it? It's obvious based on the events of the first video that he hit her. Why did you need to see the actual hit to reach that conclusion? The man admitted it himself. Everyone already knew he hit his now wife. The NFL knew it. The Ravens knew it. Even your mom knew it. Why is saying, "Well, I didn't see it personally," a statement of any consequence whatsoever? The other problem I have with this situation is it's a complete mockery of a fair justice system. Now, I know the NFL is an employer, and the NFL can discipline its employee players mostly any way it likes, including not at all if that's how the NFL chooses. But to the extent you have a disciplinary policy for your player employees, and to the extent your business is so prominently in the public eye, I think you have a duty to make sure your system is fair, objective, and consistent. The problems with Ray Rice's punishments are two to me. One, he's essentially the victim of double jeopardy, and two, his punishment was dictated not by a sentence previously set to fit the crime, but by public opinion. I say Ray Rice is the victim of double jeopardy because he was essentially tried twice here. One time in July when he was initially punished with a 2-game suspension, and a second time this week when videos surfaced that showed nothing new, nothing previously unknown, when the league decided arbitrarily that it wants to punish him super extra hard because he punched her, because previously it didn't seem as bad. I mean, the only thing that we knew then was that he punched her. I personally believe the initial punishment was too light, and I feel strongly about that. But I also feel strongly you don't put a person on trial twice for the same crime. You do it once, you do it fairly, and you do it consistently. You don't punish someone and then come back months later and say, just kidding, you know? You have to get out of the league now. Secondly, the NFL let public opinion dictate Ray Rice's punishment. Now, I do understand that businesses are necessarily going to be more susceptible to public opinion than the criminal justice system, but I still have a huge problem with any justice system that decides how offenses should be punished based on how much public outrage there is. The NFL gave Ray Rice too light of a punishment initially, and in response to the public outcry, they made it infinitely more severe. Now, the latter punishment might actually fit the crime, but the point is a good justice system is objective and standardized. You do X crime, you get Y punishment. It's not, you do X crime, we'll put it on the internet and ESPN and see how people react, and if nobody cares, you'll get away, but if people are pissed, then you're gone! No, that's bullshit. That's neither just nor courageous. It's as offensive to fairness as it is to leadership. If you're Roger Goodell, you don't put your wet finger to the wind of public opinion and see what the neckbeards of the internet think about it. You see something that is obviously wrong, you punish it sternly, you make an example of something intolerable in your league, and you immediately instate a uniform policy to deal with these types of cases in the future. Which, somewhat to Roger Goodell's credit, he did, but we still have the problem of multiple domestic abuse offenders in the league unpunished, namely Greg Hardy and Ray McDonald, and nobody seems to care or to know about them. Anyway, that's my take on this issue. Ray Rice is a bad guy for doing what he did, but I find it incredibly stupid that people are surprised by the new video that surfaced, and I find the NFL and the Ravens' response to be indefensibly inconsistent, disingenuous, cowardly, and just plain old-fashioned wrong. Thanks, as always, for hearing me out and for supporting this series. I always enjoy the comment discussions that follow the videos, and I look forward to this one as well. Let me know what you think about this. Okay, thanks. Bye.